Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge, and today we're on Pokemon X and Y, and today's challenge will be our weekly installment of Can I Beat Pokemon X Hardcore Nuzlocke with only shiny electric type Pokemon. So today's monotype will be electric type Pokemon. They're normally pretty hard to really find because there's not a lot of electric type Pokemon in the universe. They're kind of scarce, and more so they kind of look the same and feel the same. They're very frail, as in Plusso, as in Pikachu and Moga, you know, all those rodent things. Mostly we're gonna get that for our run, so it's gonna be pretty difficult. But before we get into the rules and everything, I want to ask you guys if you guys could leave a like to support the series. Always, I'm gonna post this series and post the Radical Red series. Can we aim for 1,000 likes on this challenge video? Now for the rules. The rules will be basically a Nuzlocke with hardcore rules. A Nuzlocke being the first Pokemon in each route. It's the only Pokemon you can catch. In our scenario, it's going to be the first shiny electric type Pokemon we find in each route. So it's going to be more difficult because we're going to have to spend our time shiny hunting. And as well, anytime a Pokemon faints, they will be dead. They are no longer able to be used. As you can see on the bottom left, there is a death counter to keep track of our deaths in the game. It's not fun when you spend all the time building and curating a Pokemon and they just die. So now adding the hardcore elements into these runs, the need to play on set mode. If I face off against a trainer and beat their Pokemon, I cannot switch out automatically. I have to manually switch out when it is my turn to play. There is no items inside a battle. You can use hell items, but you can't use items from the bag such as potions and whatever. And also you cannot over level your Pokemon. So there is a level cap on the bottom left. That's going to be their highest level, which is going to be their ace, and we cannot go above them when we enter their battle. We can, however, gain enough XP while battling them and go over the level cap. I think that's allowed. It's just you can't get over it before you start the battle. So those are all the rules. I want to also include that there is one special rule that I always include in each of my challenge video. Each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So here are the nicknames I picked out for this challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a Pokemon in my future challenge videos, just drop in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you're down there, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. If you guys are not already, it'll greatly help my channel. And let's get into the challenge video. Now to begin off, obviously there is no such thing as an electric type starter. Now Pikachu is a starter, but I don't really count those games because I don't really like those games. But outside of that, is there any electric starters? I don't think so. So we must move on from there and, you know, get through the first beginnings of the game and whatever and head into the forest. Now in this forest, you're able to find ourselves the first electric type Pokemon we're allowed to catch, which is going to be Pikachu. Pikachu is the only electric counter in this route, so we're able to just search around. Luckily, we do find Pikachu in the first 40 minutes of playing the game. It's also a female Pikachu from the heart shape on his tail. Put that as our starter Pokemon, and we're going to face off against another Pikachu. It's a clone battle over here. Our Suntan Pikachu is going to beat down this Pikachu, and we're going to get to level 12 and head into the first gym of the game. Now the first gym in this game is going to be against Viola. It's going to be the bug type gym leader, and most of the time this is an actual run ender for me. I get annoyed and the game just ends because Viola actually is pretty difficult if you have obviously weaker Pokemon. Pikachu is one of those where Pikachu most likely will get beat down. If you get unlucky with RNG, we're able to knock down the Surge Kick without taking too much damage, and then the Vivillon comes out next. Takes a lot of Thunder Shocks. Thunder Shock's not a strong move. Luckily we got good RNG and it hardens up and we're able to get a Thunder Shock off against it. It tackles us and doesn't infestation us, and it paralyzes itself. So when it goes for a potion, I'm able to two-shot it and knock it out, and we secure the first gym badge in the game. So that is our first gym badge of the game. Now our regular X and Y playthroughs, we normally talk about Professor Sycamore, but not in this one. We could skip this one because there's no electric type starters he gives us, and we go out in Route 5. Now in Route 5, there are two Pokemon you can get, Plusso and Minum. One is more exclusive to X and Y. Most likely we can go and find ourselves a Plusso because Minum is only available in hordes. It luckily enough does not take us too long to find ourselves a Plusso. Plusso's shiny looks so bad. It looks like a basic Plusso, so I don't know. This was a waste of time. Minum's shiny is actually way cooler. If you ever seen, it's like a turquoise on it instead of this dark and red, which is not even useful. I forgot to state earlier in the video, in the intro, that the shiny odds have been modified to 1 in 1,500. Makes it a little easier, but also gives it some difficulty in finding shiny Pokemon. Just think of it as me having 3 shiny charms, so it's a little easier but not too difficult. Next up, we're going to move on into Route 9 in this rocky pathway. Go along this rocky pathway, we could find ourselves a Helioptile. before the second gym, and we do find ourselves one, and it's just sunburnt. It's kind of cute that it's sunburnt, and we're going to add that to our team as our third Pokemon. Now, Helioptile, I have high hopes for it because I wanted to use a Heliolisk in one of my challenge videos for a long time because it's actually a really cool looking Pokemon, in my opinion, and now we get a shiny version of it. From there, though, we go into Route, I think, 10 up here near the yellow grass and near the normal grass. There are multiple electric type Pokemon you can go out and find. First off is an Electrike, which is only available in Y, which we're not playing on for some reason. The next one is a Moga, which is a flying type, which could be useful. And the other one is not an electric type to start with, but it is an Eevee that evolves into Jolteon. So we get one of those. Luckily enough, we actually get the ones we wanted. I wanted a Moga because it has some flying immunity, so that will be pretty useful as we're able to encounter ourselves a shiny Moga, capture that, put it on our team as the fourth member, and then we keep going north in this route and find ourselves a Thunderstone and immediately evolve our Pikachu into a Raichu to give it some extra bulk and some better special attack. Now this also limits its moveset because it doesn't learn any moves from now on, but we'll just teach it TMs, it'll be alright. As we move on into the second gym badge of the game, this one I was very scared about. This is why I got a Mocha, because I need more Pokemon just in case I need to sack something. So we're gonna start the battle against Grant, the second gym leader in the game. He's gonna be the rock type gym leader, and he's gonna start the battle against us using an Amora. Now I know Amora wants to paralyze me and also wants to like hit me very hard with physical attacks, so I decided to Thunder Wave it first, and then I went in for some charms to lower his attack stat heavily, so it makes it easier for me to knock it out. Unfortunately though, it is going to beat me down very easily with his takedowns, so I have to unfortunately sack my Plusso, which is right away. And I guess I don't really regret it because I didn't have big plans for Plusso anyways. But luckily I could switch out into my Raichu, and then Electro Ball will one-shot the Amora. He switches out into his Tyrant, and then I nuzzle him. I just want to see, I want to gauge how much damage an Electro Ball would do. And Electro Ball through a crit will actually one-shot the Tyrant, which I'm like, what? I swear he's a Dragon type. Is he not a Dragon type? And he just get obliterated, and we get the second gym badge in the game, just like that. I was like, okay, we lose a Pokemon, but that's completely fine with me. We're gonna head into Route 11 next, and our next Pokemon available to be captured is going to be a Dedenne. Obviously, we're getting all the rodents. We have a Raichu, we have an Amoga, we have a Dedenne, we had a Plusso. We have like every single Pikachu clone out there, and a Sunbird Helioptile. We're gonna find ourselves a brown Dedenne, which is kind of cute actually. It is actually adorable. I like the brown colorway on it. Colorway is not a shoe. Color scheme on it is actually really nice. I wish it actually was this to begin with. It actually looks really nice instead of the orange and yellow blend. We're gonna capture Dedenne and then move on into Chaleur City. Now in Chaleur City, there's a few things for us to do. Firstly, this hiker will give us a Sunstone. Will allow me to evolve my Helioptile into a Heliolisk, which, I mean, again, it won't learn any moves from now on, but it should be fine. I'll get Thunderbolt as a TM soon. And then we can move on into Route 11, I think, Route 12, something like that. In here, you could honey up and find yourselves some Mareeps as our next electric type Pokemon. And with some soft resetting, we get lucky and find ourselves a shiny Mareep within this horde. I'm scared to attack which one with my quick attack. I almost knocked out the shiny one on accident, but we're able to capture Mareep and put it on a team. As we head into the third gym of the game, we're gonna face off against Karina. Karina's gonna be the fighting type gym leader in the game. We're gonna start the battle against her using our Raichu. Raichu's getting Electro Ball right into the Mienfoo. Take a fake out first, but then it's gonna one-shot it using Electro Ball. And then next up, she can switch out to her Ace Hawlucha, which will take it to the face. Hawlucha goes down, and our final Pokemon will be a Machoke. It takes 2 Electro Balls, but I still outspeed it even though it Rock Slides me, or Rock Tombs me. And then we easily beat Karina, and our Mareep evolves. Mareep Ampharos is actually one of my favorite Pokemon. Is always on my team in Johto. I mean, Typhlosion, Gyarados, Ampharos, really basic, but that's my Johto team half the time. I don't play with anything else. Anyways, from there we're gonna go into this marketplace over here and buy ourselves some incense. These incense will come in handy. You'll see especially why. I attached these during the end game. And then we could also get a good rod and then hunt for our next shiny Pokemon in Azure Bay. There is a Chinchou we could hunt for. Chinchou is an electric and water type Pokemon. Find ourselves a shiny Chinchou, and it has the right ability. It had Volt Absorb, and luckily enough, well, it was a funny battle. We encounter it, and then I couldn't attack it with any of my Pokemon. So it was so hard to capture, but luckily enough, we do capture it and put it on a team. As we head into the next gym fight in the game, we're going to face off against Ramos. We're gonna start the battle against Ramos, our newly acquired Heliolisk, and then we're able to charge up against the jump bluff. This is so annoying. It does not knock out the jump bluff, so I have to keep using charge. I thought charge stack up, that's why I used charge twice in a row, and unfortunately it does not stack up. I'm able to parabolic charge it and get my HP back, so I mean it's not too difficult. Unfortunately, I'm stupid and I stayed in and mud slap the Go-Go to lower his accuracy just for fun. I don't know why I did that. I take a heavy Bulldoze and then I gotta switch out into my Amoga. This is where Amoga actually works pretty well because it dodges the ground moves that most of my electric type Pokemon are weak to. And then I'm able to nuzzle down the Go-Go. It's gonna obviously not take a takedown too well. I stayed in and I tried to risk it too. I tried to do some more damage. I did 2 more Electro Balls and then it keeps getting paralyzed. And then I'm like, wait a second. Maybe I shouldn't be messing around with my Amoga. Let's switch out to my Ampharos. Luckily enough, it will knock out the Go-Go for me. And then this final Pokemon will be a Weeping Bell, which very easily my Ampharos will take care of. This purple giraffe thing. Is it a giraffe? I think it's a giraffe. It will knock him out very easily. And we get our 4th gym badge of the game. Now quickly, we're just moving on to the next gym fight because that's really what X and Y really is. It's just gym fights over and over. We're going to face off against Clement next. We're going to start the battle against him using our Lantern, which has Volt Absorb. I can take all the electric moves pretty easily. And then we're going to stockpile up against the Amoga because it can't do anything. I'm able to Bubble Beam it down as to switch out to his own Heliolisk. And then this one has Dry Skin, so I can't attack this one with my Water move. I have to hit it with an Electric move. And this is just stuff. This is horrible. I decided this was enough. I confused it and then I switched out into my Ampharos. My Ampharos would take any hits. Unfortunately, it does not knock him out using Power Gem, so I had to go to back to the basics and Rock Smash him. I do a nice chunky amount against him and then I had to force to switch out and then switch back into my Lantern and then Confuse Ray him. A clone battle over here, but mine is going to be superior as Mudslap is able to knock down his Heliolisk. Surprisingly, Mudslap is actually a really good move against Clement. I'm able to 2-shot down against his Magneton, which is kind of funny. And then his Amoga comes out next, and I'm able to surf it, knock him out, and we beat Clement. Now, Clement is actually a very important battle to beat because after beating him, he gives us the TM for Thunderbolt, which we're going to teach every single Pokemon on my team, as you can see. So this electric team is going crazy right now. It's just getting the best electric move, in my opinion. And from there, we're going to go out into the swampy areas. There is a Pokemon for us in the swampy area. We can find Stunfisk. It is a ground and electric type Pokemon. So we're able to search around, find ourselves a Stunfisk. Unfortunately, it doesn't look... If you got this as a shiny Pokemon, would you be disappointed? Because I would be. So that is quite a shame. But either way, we're going to catch ourselves a Stunfisk. And that will be in the PC just in case I want to use it. And next up, we can face off against the next gym. Because, you know, back-to-back gyms. We face off against Valerie next. Valerie is going to be the fairy type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle against her using our Raichu. And Raichu is going to be under level accidentally. But I felt pretty confident. I was going to nuzzle down the Mawile and then just charge beam up. Knock out the rest of the team very easily. I'm able to Thunderbolt, knock out the Mr. Mime. Oh, almost knock out the Mr. Mime. And then I should just charge beam here as it heals up once again. Get my 3rd special attack boost and I'm able to Thunderbolt, knock out the Mr. Mime. Now unfortunately the Sylveon comes on next. I know Light Screen's still up. I'm able to Thunderbolt, almost knocks him out, but unfortunately Dazzling Gleam will crit my Raichu and knock out my Raichu. I knew I could live on attack, but it didn't let me. So it's gonna knock out my Raichu and my starter Pokemon goes down. It's just the worst feeling when you try to bring your starter Pokemon to the end of the game and you just die to something dumb. Look, yeah, I was overcommitting, of course. Maybe I overextended a little bit, but Raichu for sure would have lived the Dazzling Gleam from that range. And unfortunately, Valerie will put our 2nd death in our run and also making us having to use Stunfisk on our team. From there, we go into the Lost Hotel though. The Lost Hotel has multiple electric type Pokemon we're going to seek out for. One is going to be Rotom, which I'm not too sure if you can get right now or is after the Pokemon League. The next one you can find Electrode, and the 3rd one is going to be Magneton. I'm really looking for Magneton, and luckily enough, it is a common encounter in here. So we're able to find ourselves a shiny Magneton. We'll catch it, and then we'll hold off on it using it. I do plan on using it by the end of the game, but for now, we're going to move on into the next gym in the game. We're going to face off against Olympia. Olympia is going to be Psychic type gym leader in the game. We're going to start a battle against her using our Heliolisk. For some reason, I didn't put Charge Beam, but I used Charge on it, and then Thunderbolt will one-shot the Sigilyph. He's going to switch out to her Slacking next. I just charged up once again. It's going to Psychic me. It's going to crit me, and then I know I could for sure live another one. So I'm just going to try to Thunderbolt it down. It has a Light Skin up and has a Calm Mind up. This Thunderbolt is not going to do anything. So I decided to switch out my Heliolisk into my Ampharos. Ampharos, decently strong Pokemon, confuse Ray into the Slowking and then Thunderbolt down. It's gonna heal up again, which is annoying, but we'll knock it down. It's gonna 3-shot him, which is amazing. And then our final Pokemon will be a Meowstic. We're just gonna confuse Ray it. We're gonna Thunderbolt it down because I doubt it can knock out my Ampharos. And looking up, oh, I risk it. I really risk it. Right, but Ampharos lives and we knock out the Meowstic without too much trouble. And now we can move on into our first Lysander fight. This fight, Emolga actually carried, just knocked out his main Pokemon, his Gyarados. His Pyro does a lot of damage to me, but I'm able to skid across this battle unscathed, so that's pretty nice. Next up, we're going to go and capture Xerneas. Xerneas is obviously not going to be on our team, but after that, we're going to face off against the big boss battle against Lysander. Lysander is going to be the end-all be-all of the Evo team in this game. I'm able to protect against the Min Shao high jump kick and then make it take a lot of damage. I thought, unfortunately, it's going to go for a Sword Stance. So I went for a Thunderbolt. It's gonna high jump kick me and crit me, and then I'm almost dead. So once it sends out its Pyro, I gotta switch out immediately. I switched out right into my Stun Fist, and it'll take a Fire Blast. I went for a Discharge to get it paralyzed. It did not get paralyzed, so my Stun Fist is completely useless. And then I switched out into my Lantern. It'll take a Fire Blast, and then it'll also take a Hyper Voice. Luckily enough, I do knock out the Pyro using Surf. And then his next Pokemon is gonna be a Honchkrow. I am able to switch out to my Heliolisk, and then I'm able to Thunderbolt and knock him out. Now, the reason I switch into my Heliolisk because I want the Gyarados to Earthquake me first turn. I switch out to my Emolga. Force him to Earthquake me, and then I assume I could take one hit. So I can Nuzzle into the Gyarados, take an Aqua Tail at 4 HP, and then at this point, all I gotta do is sack something. I switch into my Stun Fist because I need to sack something to get a free switch in. I know it's going to Aqua Tail me. I should have switched to my Heliolisk, but that's also risky. I switch into my Stun Fist. It gets paralyzed. So I'm able to get a Discharge off against the Gyarados. Does about half to him, and then he'll knock out my Stun Fist as I'm able to switch out into my Heliolisk. Heliolisk will Thunderbolt and knock out the Mega Gyarados, and we're able to beat Lysander. Unfortunately, we put a death on our death counter, but you know, sometimes it's worth it. So Lysander goes down, and we just have 3 deaths now. As we move on, we can put Magnezone on our team now, so it works out pretty well. Don't have to use Stun Fist anymore, and we can move on into the 8th gym badge of the game. We're face off against Wolfric. Wolfric's gonna be the, I was gonna say snow type. He's gonna be the ice type gym leader, and we're gonna start the battle against him using our Magnezone. I thought this Abomasnow had Focus Blast. It does not, so I'm able to Flash Cannon down and just knock him out. So Magnezone is actually pretty crazy. Avalok comes out next. It has no special defense, no type of special defense. So it'll go down in one shot as well. This final Pokemon will be a Cragno. It's going to confuse Ray me, Ice Beam me, and annoy me. So I switch out into my Ampharos because I'm at low HP. I decided to go for my Thunderbolt against him. He's going to confuse Ray me. So my Ampharos is useless. I switched out into my next Pokemon. I'm going to switch out to my Lantern, which is going to try to Thunderbolt. He hits himself in confusion 2 times, and I'm at low HP, which I can't risk it. So I switch out to my Heliolisk, and he gets Ice Beam Freeze, and I'm like, oh my god, there's no way this is happening to me. This Cragno's about to beat me. No way, this is not gonna happen like this. I switch out to my Dedenne as he goes for a Hail, and that was his misplay because he Ice Beamed me. He does not get enough freeze. I'm able to Thunder, knock out the Cragno, and we end up beating Wolfric. Probably the most trouble I ever had with Wolfric in my life, but we end up beating Wolfric at least, and we can move on into the Pokemon League. Now inside the Pokemon League, there is 4 different trainers plus a champion to face. We're going to add some hell items to our Pokemon. We're going to give everyone a Lax Incense, F-Sub Lantern, which can get a Sea Incense for the first battle, and then a Lax Incense later. We're going to face off against Malva first. Malva is going to be the Fire type Elite Four member in the game. We're going to start the battle against Malva using, obviously, our Lantern. Now Lantern is going to surf into the Pyro to knock him out. Take a hefty Hyper Voice, but it will knock out the Pyro in one shot. And then a Torkoal comes out next. I'm able to surf it once again to knock him out. And then her next Pokemon will be a Chandelure. I take a Shadow Ball, not too well, but I'm able to one-shot it using a Surf with the Sea Incense. And her final Pokemon will be a Talonflame. Now I could have risked it, maybe it lived, but I decided to switch out into my Ampharos because it's so tanky. I'm able to paralyze it on accident with Static, and then Thunderbolt will knock him out. And we ended up beating Malva very easily, nothing too hard. We're going to move on into Wingstrom. Wingstrom is going to be the Steel type Elite Four member and also the second Elite Four member face off against. So we're going to start a battle against him using our Magnezone. Now I taught him Charge Beam, trying to get some kind of sweep going on, but it's really not working out because he spikes me. I knock out the Klefki, and then he switches out into his Probopass, which I try to charge beam. I miss my charge beam, and then he's gonna Earth Power me and just almost one-shot me. So this is not going too well. I went to my Emolga next because I assume he's gonna go for another Earth Power, and then I went into an Encore against the Probopass, and I'm able to charge beam up against him, try to get some boost. First two did not work out too well, so I'm going to Encore him once again and hit him 3 more times with a charge beam to get 3 more boost on my Emolga. And somehow I started this battle off thinking Magnezone is going to sweep. No, Emolga is going to sweep as he knocks out the Scizor and his final Pokemon, which is going to be the Aegislash, and we demolish Wingstrom. I was scared of the Shadow Sneak there, but I don't think he has it. It went for Shadow Claw, and I'm able to Thunderbolt, knock him out, and we beat Wingstrom without any issue at all. Next up, we're going to go out and face off again Drasna. Drasna is going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member. She's going to start the battle against us using a Draglich. I have the Lax Incense on my Lantern at this point, so I'm able to Confuse Ray into the Draglich. It's going to Sludge Bomb, miss me because of the Lax Incense, and then I'm able to stockpile up. I should have Ice Beam. That was a bad play because it could have poisoned me and put me in bad position. But I'm able to two-shot him using Ice Beam as he hits himself in confusion, and the Draglich goes down. Okay, we're working with it. Next up, her next Pokemon is going to be Altaria. Now, I feel like this would have been a nice place to Confuse Ray and then Ice Beam, but I'm going to waste all her healing items on this Altaria as I'm able to Ice Beam, knock out the Altaria, and then the next Flying Dragon type is going to go down to an Ice Beam as well. Her Noivern is not going to kill me as I'm able to Ice Beam, knock out the Noivern, and her final Pokemon will be a Druddigon. I'm going to switch out into my Ampharos. Power Gem does not do any damage, and then I'm going to Dragon Tail it out. So I decided to switch out into my Dedenne, take a hefty Retaliate here as I paralyze it, and then I want to switch out into my Magnezone. Magnezone is able to survive a Revenge, I know that for sure, as I Metal Sound it, and then I'm able to Flash Cannon to knock him out. And we beat Drasna very easily. Team success. As we move on to the final Elite Four member we got to face off against, which is going to be Shielberg. Shielberg is going to be the Water type Elite Four member, and we're going to start the battle off against him using our Ampharos. Ampharos outspeeds his Clawitzer and thunders him. Luckily it lands and then knocks out the Clawitzer, which is amazing. Also outspeeds the Gyarados, which is funny. Thunderbolt will knock him out as well. And then her next two Pokemon are Barbarical. I did not want to risk Thunders. I went for a Thunderbolt. I take a Stone Edge very easily as Ampharos is so tanky for some reason. And then 2 more Thunderbolts will knock out the Barbarical, as his final Pokemon is going to be a Starmie. And I should have just went for a Thunder just for cheese, but 2 Thunderbolts will knock him out. I even get a Paralyze on it, and Shielberg was, I mean, I was an electric type team. There's no way he was beating me at any point. So from there, we're going to move on and face off against the champion in the game. We're going to face off against Diantha. Diantha is going to be the champion of Kalos, and she started the battle against us using a Hawlucha. Started the battle against her using a Dedenne. This one used a Thunder trying to knock out the Hawlucha. I catch the Hawlucha off guard and kill him, which is funny. And then the Tyrantron comes out next. I'm going to Charm it. It's going to Head Smash me. And at this point, I can't switch out to anything. It's going to take a hefty Head Smash. Could have went to my Lantern, but that would have been risky. Would have crits me. So I decided I need to sack my Dedenne by getting a Nuzzle on it to paralyze it. That will put a 4th Death on my Death counter, but that will allow me to go into my Magnezone, which will Flash Cannon into the Tyrantron to knock him out. And then her next Pokemon is going to be a Goodra. Goodra has Earthquake and Focus Blast, so I'm not going to deal with that. I switch out to my Emolga. I wanted to use Nuzzle. I should have actually used Encore, because obviously it has to use Focus Blast, so that was my mistake. I should have went for Encore. So at that point, I'm like, this is a bad play. I got it paralyzed though, but should have just went for Encore. I don't know what I was doing. So I switched out to my Lantern next. I'm going to stockpile up. I want to get to a point where an Ice Beam will knock out the Goodra, so I'm just chipping away at it. And then finally, an Ice Beam will knock out the Goodra. Her next Pokemon will be Gourgeist. Gourgeist is going to be a Grass and Ghost type Pokemon. I went for an Ice Beam. It does about almost one-shot it, so I'm just going to keep Ice Beam up against it because I don't think a C-Bomb is going to do too much. Unfortunately, it's going to go for a little Phantom Force, but I misplayed for some. Why did I misplay? Why did I go for a Confuse Ray? I don't understand. Now I'm forced to switch out to my Heliolisk. I gotta charge up using Charge and Thunderbolt it. I actually end up knocking out the Gourgeist with a Charged Thunderbolt, which is crazy. And then her next Pokemon will be a Morris. I'm like, well, I need to get my Magnezone in, but I don't know if it's going to Earthquake me or Earth Power me. So I switched out to my Emolga first. It's going to Blizzard to start off, which is crazy. So I don't know what kind of prediction is that. So Emolga goes down as well. So that's the 5th death. I switch out into my Magnezone next. I'm going to Flash Cannon into the Morris and knock it out. Our last Pokemon is going to be a Gardevoir. is going to be a Mega Gardevoir. I don't think it does have Focus Blast, so I'm just going to stay in and Flash Cannon into it. 2 Flash Cannons will finish the job against Diantha. And we are the new champions of Kalos. We beat the challenge with only 5 deaths. Actually, 5 deaths is a lot of deaths. You know what? We still beat the challenge. We beat the game using only electric shiny type Pokemon. And we also beat AZ. You guys didn't... Oh, we got a freeze on the Sigilyph. We end up being AZ as well. So we beat the entire game. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys can, please don't forget to leave a like. Comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one, or some typings you want me to see, and also nicknames. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It will greatly help my channel. And thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. My name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day. I'm out. Peace.